move up to 190. Ivan Boyesen, who usually is at 177, wrestling up here for Lehigh due to the injury to Scott Hamilton, who won't wrestle this season for Lehigh. And his opponent, Tim Anderson, a sophomore from Maumee, Ohio. Those of you that have followed Ivan Boyesen have to be impressed by the fact that he really gets off to great starts. His problem has been running out of gas toward the end of matches. I think, Larry, if they wrestled about 5 minutes, Ivan would be undefeated and no one would be close. A little more stamina. There's their takedown. And if Ivan can learn to perhaps pace himself a little bit more, he could be a super wrestler at this weight class. Leading 2-0.
Well, he's always been a favorite of Jesse Lyons. He's always telling me he's always been in his corner. Feels that he has all the moves in the world.
Sure, guys.
And he's beaten some super wrestlers.
Somewhere along the line, it just makes a mistake. He gets tired. Comes out like gangbusters. If he can maintain that pace, he'd be in the top 5 in the country in that weight class. Shallow, thinking of the Sheridan tournament, maybe get a word in. Certainly not a plug for the tournament. It carries its own weight, but
well, let's plug the tournament.
All right, we'll plug the tournament. This year, for the first time, it's going to be held in one day. A lot of people were used to the fact that it was a Friday night and then come back the next afternoon, and it would be Saturday afternoon and Saturday night. This year, all 3 sessions are in one day. 10 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and something like 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock at night. Be a little longer at night.
Watch your hands on
but
the face.
The purpose of that idea, is to get away from this NCAA regulation about 21 dates. If it's a 2-day tournament, it's 2 dates.
All right, son?
So if it's a 1-day tournament, it's considered 1 date, and a wrestler is only permitted 21 dates, exclusive of the qualifying tournament, which in this case we're talking the Easterns and the Nationals. So you can only wrestle 21 dates prior to the Easterns, and if they had the Sheridan tournament 2 days, that would be 2 dates on everybody's schedule. And then they have this dual meet and this dual meet, and then they go up to the Wilkes tournament, and they go out to this tournament, this tournament. What it's going to do, the 21 dates, I can tell you most of the coaches don't like it. But again, it's the coaches that put the rules in. So somewhere along the line, there was a communications breakdown on that 21-date regulation.
Here's the first takedown by Ivan, leading by a score of 4-2.
Gets in behind the knee, now makes the lift, spins around the back. Lift. Come on, Ivan, lift. Attaboy. And go around. Drive your opponent to the mat.
Larry, I guess one of the solutions to running out of gas in the end is a simple solution. Just pin your man early on, and you don't have to wrestle 8 minutes.
Yes. I always agreed to that.
Hold still. Top, get on.
Well, are we going to give a reward for every half Nelson we see this year? So far, I saw one tonight.
Neutral.
Only saw one chicken wing.
Russell center.
Were you at McDonald's or something?
Kind of missed Jack Collins sitting behind us.
Boyesen in on a nice leg dive in that situation. He comes up with a 6-3 lead.
What you are seeing right now really is what Lehigh fans have been seeing for several seasons. Ivan Boyesen, for the first several minutes of every match, there really isn't a better wrestler on the mat. He in control, leading his 6-3, minute and 15 riding time. And if he can learn to pace himself in that third period.
There he goes, just in underneath. Now he's got it. Reaches around, drives through, collapses the hip situation. There's some future grapplers coming in here. Don't know who they are. I know that they're not any part of the Sherbeck family, since my daughter just got married. I know. And there's Control still stays on top.
I don't think Ivan is at 190 now. I think, what do you think he's at, Larry?
Oh, he might be 85.
Yeah, I was going to say between 183, 85.
But he was
somewhere.
really hoping to wrestle 77, but got some filling to do at 190, so he's a team man, and he said, I'll go up to 90, coach. 6-4 the score. Boyesen.
There's been some pretty fair wrestlers, though, in Lehigh history of guys that have really gone up in weight. You know, Don McCorkle never really was an unlimited wrestler, even though he wrestled up there frequently. He'd been
Terry
at 190.
DeStito. I saw Terry down in Baltimore not so long ago. He's now looking like a heavyweight wrestler. Another takedown. Dug it in on that leg.
I used to have doubts when I'd watch Don McCorkle wrestle that he was 190.
Prove the angle.
I always thought he was really a 177. There you
There's
see
a
Jeff Turner.
Former
Red.
wrestler. Jeff now in the banking business. A financier, we will call him. Man of finance.
All right, we got 2 minutes to go. Take your position, son.
Third period, 8-4 lead for Ivan Boyesen at the bottom.
Top man, you're on it.
He's got 2 minutes in riding time. And let's see what happens in this third period.
I think he's pacing himself well. He's moving
Gets the
good.
escape.
Certainly has a
9-4.
5-point lead. Anderson, Maumee, Ohio.
Population. One less, I guess, when Tim Anderson comes here. Coming on next, Steve Vetch will wrestle heavyweight.
Center.
And you got to kind of give Steve a lot of credit too, Larry. He's been in the wings for several seasons behind Bernie Brown. Certainly had a lot of junior varsity experience. And he had some pretty good matches for the JVs.
Let's go, guys. Come on.
At heavyweight, it will fall to him this season to shore up the anchor position for Lehigh. 28-7. Lehigh took a 28-0 lead, but Cornell has come back with 2 in a row. And here's Boyesen with a fine maneuver. Really a nice move by Ivan, leading 11-4.
No point.
Oh,
1 count.
moving up at 39 seconds. Boyesen. I was thinking this year, Shell, we got the Hall of Fame out in Stillwater, Oklahoma. This year they're going to induct 3 wrestlers, 2 of whom we've seen wrestle here. The Ben and John Peterson, the Peterson brothers. And of course, a guy who's near and dear to me, and a name that you may recognize by me talking about it, Sprig Gardner, former coach at Mepham High. There's another takedown. And attempt to get a tilt. But 13-5 on the board plus time is 14-5. 9-point win gives 4 more points to Lehigh. And Ivan looking strong, very strong. Boyesen.
That one really has to make Ivan and Thad Turner really feel good, because he's got a lot of potential, looked very good, stayed in there the whole way, did not weaken, and ended up winning. And so Lehigh now leads 32-7. Ivan Boyesen, a very impressive